Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Monday the 13th of March 2023. It's very late here. It's pushing lunchtime already, and I always play this Guardian game in the morning. But we had a storm at 3:45 a.m. and I had forgotten I'd put my washing out. We haven't had any rain for so long. And the one time I do my washing in the evening and leave it out to dry overnight, we get a storm. I had to rush out in the middle of it and try and gather everything up before it got too drenched. It's partly covered, but anyway, so after that, there's no way I was getting back to sleep. So I've been awake. Then I was awake until the morning, this morning. I've had another nap this morning, so feeling reasonably okay now, but as I say, it's very late here. Now, welcome to newcomers to Sudoku and newcomers to the channel, because it's Monday. That's the day I expect to get more newcomers, because this is the beginner day or easy day. So people who are not really familiar with Sudoku, maybe you played it once before, or you've tried it and not really sure how to play the game, I should give you the instructions and rules, what you need to do, how you need to begin playing the game. And it's a lovely game, so I hope that you will try to play it. About playing the game, remember, it's your game. It's for fun. So first up, don't let other people tell you how to play it. Not me, not anybody else tell you how to play it. Except that, please remember, it is a game of logic. It shouldn't really be a game of guessing. Guessing is not good. That defeats the object. It's not really fun if you guess the game. Well, I don't see it as fun anyway. So there is never any need to guess, because it is a game of logic. So that's something to remember. The other thing is, you don't have to play the game all in one go. I mean, people are busy, they've got things to do. It's a Monday, right? You probably got work to do. I don't have any work to do today, but unfortunately, I have to say, but you might well have things to do, and means that you start playing the game and then you find it a bit tough, and what do you do? Do you throw it away? No, you can come back later, right? And sometimes when you leave a game and come back, you see things that you didn't see before. That often happens to me. And about trying to play the game quickly, there is no need to play the game quickly at all. I mean, that really, in some ways, defeats the object, right? It's a pastime, a thing that you do to while away the time, so there's no need to try and go quickly. Now, having said that, I try not to make these videos too long, because if they're enormously long, people won't click on them, or people get bored in the middle and just give up. So I try not to make them too long. So that's why I don't go too slowly, but I try not to go too quickly either. Now, this channel is not just about Sudoku. It's really my blog on life, anything I feel like talking about on a particular day, and also with a game of Sudoku thrown in. So if you subscribe to the channel, that's what you can expect. Me blathering on for a while and then suddenly sticking in a game of Sudoku afterwards. And what would I like to talk about today? Today I would like to talk about the Willow project in Alaska, and Biden's absolutely terrible mistake to allow it to go ahead. He's going to approve it probably today. I think this is a huge mistake. It's a mistake. Of course, I understand about realpolitik, right? I mean, I'm an old man. I know that in real life you have to make compromises, and that's obviously true. But there are also times when you need to make a firm stand and say this should not be a compromise situation, and when the future of the entire planet depends on it. And it really does, because global warming is the most serious issue that we are facing right now, human beings. We really need to do it. We really need to deal with this problem immediately. It's just, you're just going to push it too far. So Biden seeing 180,000 barrels of oil coming out. I think that was a daily target. Is grinning because it will keep oil prices low for, U.S. voters. But it's a signal. It's a signal, right, to people that he's willing to destroy the planet in the future. And I think it's going to hurt him electorally. He thinks it's a winner electorally because it will keep gas prices low, as Americans call them. But I think it's going to put off lots and lots of younger voters. Remember, one of the reasons why America still just about has a democracy hanging on. I mean, it could still lose its democracy extremely easy. It's still just within a hair's breadth of losing its democracy. But one reason why is because young people voted, and young people care about the environment, and older people should care too. I mean, even if you're not going to be around to see the after effects, you're passing it on to others, to future generations. You need to care. And when he makes this decision, young people will see that he is the same. I mean, the Democrats are not particularly good anyway, but, compared to the Republicans, right, they look good. It's rather like Labour and the Tories in the UK. The Labour Party is pathetic, actually, but, compared to the Tories, they look okay. And when young people see that Biden is exactly the same as everybody else, I think they're not going to go out to vote. I mean, young people historically don't vote in the US. And I think he's going to lose a huge amount of support if he goes ahead with this project. So there's only a few hours left. Please don't do it, Biden. Not that Biden watches this channel or anything like that. But anyway. All right. Okay, I think that's enough. Let's get on with the game of Sudoku and explain how to play this game. So you can see in front of you a lot of squares and a lot of numbers. That's it. That's all about squares and numbers. It's nothing to do with maths. Excuse me while I have a coffee. It's nothing to do with mathematics. It's only about logic. And the thing to remember is, if you can see the difference between each of the numbers 1 to 9, you can play this game. You have some bare understanding of logic. There are 9 squares in each of the rows across. And what we do is fit the numbers 1 to 9 in each square of each row. There are 9 columns, and each feature 9 squares, and so we've put the numbers 1 to 9 there. But that's not all. We also have to fit the numbers 1 to 9 in these smaller 3x3 grids, 1 to 9, 1 to 9. So you can see some blocks already, in fact every block already has, I call this a block by the way, has some digits filled in. This block has 1, 2, 5 and 8 already filled in. So we're looking for 3, 4, 6, 7 and 9. That's what we need to finish the block. So actually, considering we don't yet have a 9, that might be a good way to start, because if you see that there is a 9 in this top row already, it means that 9 cannot reappear, right? I just said to you that numbers 1 to 9, one's each, right? There are 9 squares, so a number cannot reappear. So none of these 3 squares can be 9 because we have the 9 here. Got that? But if we look down here, we also see a 9 down here. So the same rule applies in this column. So this column here, this 9, which blocks up this column, blocks, in fact, these 2 squares, but this one is already blocked by this 9 over here. So block this square here. So now look, these 3 squares are already filled in with a 1, 5, 8 and 2. There is only 1 square remaining, so we know that the 9 must go there. It cannot go anywhere else. There's nowhere else for it to go, right? Hey, let me in, let me in. There is nowhere for you to go except that square. Now we're going to do the same thing down here with this 9 blocking across this row here. I say blocking, I mean forbidding any other square from becoming a 9. And then this 9 in this column down here. So we've got exactly the same thing. Look, we've got 9 down here, 9 across here, and that gives us a 9 there. You ask, could it be some other number? The answer is no. It cannot be any other number because the setter of the Sudoku has carefully worked out how to fit all of the numbers in one way only. And now you know how to play Sudoku. Shall I just leave you to it? I'll give you a bit more help. Hold on a second. I'll have just a touch more coffee though. Let's continue with these 9s. We have a 9 blocking across here, and we have a 9 blocking up here, like this kind of T shape. You see that? So here we go again. We've just got one possible square for the 9. And let's take this 9 that we just filled in and say blocking across here. Then we have a 9 blocking down here and a 9 blocking up here. Yes, you can see that the 9 goes there. Now we can't quite finish the 9s. Remember, we need a 9 in every block, every one of these 3x3 grids. And you can see that this block here and this block here don't yet have 9s. And when we try to see if we can find the 9, we look across here, 9s like this, and we look across here, 9s like this. And we see, look, 9 is possible here, or here, or here, or here. But when we look up and down these columns, we don't find any 9s to help us solve this problem. So we've got possible 9s in these 4 squares. Now what you'll find is, if a 9 appears in this square, well, it can't be here, and it can't be here, right? Because it can't be in the same row or the same column, so it will have to be there. And if a 9 appears there, it will have to be there. But we need one of them to be able to get the last one. All right. Okay, right, now we can move along a bit more swiftly, I think. So let's start with these 8s blocking across this central block here and putting an 8 here. By the way, you do have to try this game yourself. It's not something you can just do by watching videos. You need to absolutely try and play the game yourself. Now you can see the 8s blocking across here, down here, and across here. That's going to put an 8 there. It is, you know, it's a game. Yes, the videos hopefully are reasonably instructive, but it's a game for you to play by yourself. So there's always a link in these videos to take you to the actual game. Now you could print it out and play it, or you can use SudokuExchange.com, which is what I'm using here. There's a link to use that solve as well. We have to transfer the digits yourself, though. Right. Touch more coffee, I think. Now, if you are playing on the computer as opposed to doing it by hand, and I do recommend you try it by hand first of all until you get the hang of the game. It's good practice, I think. You might want to click through and go or try the digits in order, because when you play on the computer, you highlight and you'll see every instance highlighted. But you don't have to do that. It's not essential. But anyway, so let's try it. When we click on 1, you're going to see something highlighted. So we see these 3 ones highlighted. And you can see the ones blocking across here and across here like this, and this one down. So it's a bit easier to see if you use the computer. But as I said, you don't have to. And I would recommend not using a computer for your first games. If you've never played the game before, try it with pen and paper, and pencil and paper, and a rubber if you prefer. Although I always find that rather difficult. Maybe get a couple of copies and prepare to make mistakes, and then throw one away if you make a mistake. It's been a long time since I began playing this game, but that's how I think I began when I first started. Right, now what you need to do is kind of use your eyes to go up and down the columns and see if anything looks feasible logically, and as you get more experience, you'll see what that means. Now, when you see a single digit like this, it's usually trickier because there aren't any intersecting numbers that you can kind of match up with. So often that's going to be more difficult. Not necessarily impossible, but just more difficult. Now, I don't play these games ahead of time, so I have no idea what the actual outcome is. And if you click on any of the videos on this channel, you'll always see me playing live. You'll never see a prepared game because I don't prepare them in advance. So now we've got 4s blocking up here and up here. And this is the kind of pattern that you look for and will find often. So we can see that the 4 goes here. Now we can take that 4 and say that it blocks across here. And there is only one possible square in this block here where we can fill it in. So as I say, you can let your eyes, you can kind of see your eyes scanning along like this, and you say, oh look, blocking along there, blocking along there. That means the 4s have to be somewhere in those 3 squares. Can I say which is which? No, not really, not yet. So that's not so useful just yet, but at some point this kind of thing is, and now when we look down here and see the 4 blocking across here, rather like we had the 4 up there, in fact we do see just one empty square, and so we know that the 4 must fit there. Now we notice then that we've kind of limited things a bit more up here. So when we look up here, we say, oh, now we're limited. Instead of 3 squares, we only have 2 possible squares where the 4 could be. It's either in that square or that square, but it's still not quite possible to find the answer just yet. We still need to do a bit more work first. Now, something else you can do is when you see like just a couple of squares left, like this, or 3 squares left, you can see what, or up here, you can see what needs to go in those squares, and sometimes you can find a digit like that. So up here we're looking for 3, 6, and 7. We don't have 3, 6, or 7. We can see a 6, but we can't see any 3s or 7s, so we don't know which is which. But what you can do is, if you think about this whole line across here, this top row, we know that 3, 6, and 7 have to be here, don't they? So that means that these 2 squares will not be 3, 6, or 7, because they must be in those 3 squares there. What's left here are the other 2 numbers to complete 1 to 9. So let's see. What will be in these 2 squares? Not 3, 6, or 7, because that's there or there. So what we are looking for is 1 and 2, right? Because we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these squares must contain 1 or 2 only. Now, when we look down here, we can say, hey, this can't be a 1 because we've got an intersecting 1 here. So 1 must be in that square. And 2 is the last number that we need to finish this block, because we know this is 3, 6, or 7. Okay? Now we'll take that 2 and say blocking down here, and that now must be 2 there. And now look, there's only 1 number missing from this block here. We don't yet have a 5, so we can fill that 5 in while I grab some more coffee. Right, now we can continue with the 5s, 5 blocks across these 2 rows, and that puts the 5 there. And then we'll say 5 blocking up here, and across here. And you can see how a 5 fits there, can't you? Now we have 5 blocking down here, and 5 across here, and 5 down here, so that gives us a 5 there. And there is only 1 block which doesn't have 5. You can see 5s in 8 different blocks there, and then the 9th block down here we don't yet have a 5. Now you should know that if you have 8 iterations of a digit, you can always find the 9th iteration. You always have enough information to do that. So now we can see the 5s blocking like that, and we can get our final digit 5. Digit 8 is also finished, so 5 and 8 we are completed. We need to fill in the other numbers. And now there are 2 empty squares at the end of this row, so we might have a look here and see what's missing. We've got 1, 2, 3, we don't have 4. We've got 5, 6, we don't have 7. So we know that these squares must contain 4 and 7 only. And when we look up and down, we say, is there anything that can tell us which is 4 or 7? And the answer is no, there isn't. But now we know that these 2 squares contain 4 or 7, we can work out what goes in these squares, because it can't be 4 or 7. In fact, it has to be 2 or 3. Now, actually, that didn't help us either, but that's what the game... I told you I don't work out these things ahead of time. That also didn't help us, but that's what Sudoku is like. It's trying to find things, and when we notice this is 2 or 3, we say anything can help us, any 2s or 3s intersecting, and the answer is no. So that's unfortunate, but anyway, that's the way the Sudoku cookie crumbles. Let's come back down here and see what's missing from here. Well, first of all, there is no digit 1. Now, immediately I can see the 1s blocking down here like this, so I know that the 1 fits there. And what are we left with? We're left with 2 and 6. And can you see what we're going to do? Yes, you've seen it. 6 blocks down here. So the 6 is going to go here, and the 2 is going to be in that square there. Having fun yet? I hope so. Hope it's starting to make sense. But it is a game, as I say, the satisfaction comes from doing it yourself rather than watching these videos. And if you have a question, basic question, you can put it up on here, right? In the comments section, please put up your comments. Don't be intimidated on any of the videos by... We have a lot of experts commenting about how poorly I played the game or something like that, right? Don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you need further explanation on what I'm doing, just ask for it. And as long as I see your comment, and I do check most of them, I will answer you as best I can. Right, what's happening now? So I'm not sure. Let's Again, as I said, sometimes you can click on the numbers to go through. So let's see, ones we can see, one blocking across here and one up here. So that gives us a digit 1 in that square. One blocking all the way down here and down here puts a 1 into that square. And now I do believe this is the only block that doesn't yet have a 1. Look, we've got 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yes, so we know we can find 1 here. Absolutely guaranteed to have enough information to find it. 1 blocks across here, down here, and down here. Yes, there is the final digit 1. Can we do any more with 2s yet? I'm going to say no. Let's try the 3s then and see what we can do with the 3s. Well, we have 3 blocking across here and we have 3 blocking up here like this, so that's going to put a 3 into that square there. We have 3 blocking down here and up here, so that puts a 3 into that square there. Then the 3's blocking across like this puts a 3 there. Now if this feels a bit fast because it's your first game of Sudoku, you just go back and check it out again if it looks a bit too tricky. Now here, this block here, we have 2 numbers to complete the series 1 to 9. We're looking for 2 and 7, and in fact we have a 2 and a 7. We've got a 7 here and we've got a 2 here. Now normally we only get one of those, but in this case we've got 2 of them, both of them. So the 7 stops this from being a 7, so that will be 7, and the 2 stops this from being a 2, so that'll be 2. Okay. Now this 2 we can say blocks across here, and 2 blocking across here, and 2 down will give us another 2 in that square there. This 2 blocking across here puts the 2 there, and 2 across here puts the 2 here, and we only have 1 more to go, so we know we can find it. 2's blocking up like this and across here, and the final digit 2 goes there. Right, where to look next? Now this is always the cry of the Sudokan, is where to look next. It's the thing that gives us the most anguish, is trying to decide the next place to look. And there are various methods, but none you really need to worry about at this stage of your Sudoku career. 9 fits in that square there. 9 just blocks across here like this, and that gives us a 9 there. 9 is now finished. Now we just have 2 empty squares in this block and 2 empty squares in this block, so we should look and see what's missing. Down here we're looking for 3 and 7, and we got the 3 blocking down here, so we know that that's 3, and we know that that must be 7. 7 then blocks up here. This can't be 7 because we've got 7 in this column already, so 7 is here. And the last number we need here is an 8. There's this. Oh, sorry. The last number we need here is a 6. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was about to say, the thing is I took my mind off the game for a moment there. I was about to say something different. I was about to say, if you think I'm seeing these numbers a bit quickly, obviously I sometimes make mistakes, but if you think that I'm seeing quickly, it's just a matter of having played the game so often that you tend to see the numbers faster and faster the more you play the game, right? So 6 is blocked like this. That will be a 6, and we just have 1 number to finish across here now, and that's going to be a 7. 1 number to finish this row, and that's going to be a 4. 4 blocks down here, and that gives us a 4 here, and now we only have 1 number here, which is a 7. 1 number to finish this row. You can see how we're finishing off now with just a single digit to complete the series, right? And that's really an easy way. Once you get this far into the game, it should be pretty easy to finish the game off. So what are we looking for here? Here we're looking for a 3. Now 3 blocks all the way up here. We need a 3 in this block. This 3 blocks this square, so 3 goes there. And the last number here is going to be a 6. 6 blocks down here and 6 blocks across here like this, so that gives us a 6 there. And now we have just 1 number to complete this series. That's a 7. And the 7 blocks up here and puts a 7 there. And now for this here we need a 4, and we need a 4 to finish the game. So that's our beginner level Sudoku puzzle from The Guardian. Every Monday, if you're you can try the beginner puzzle. But there are a lot of backdated games here, and you can always click on the link, and the puzzle still exists, so you can play the game for yourself. The link for The Guardian on Monday or every day is a permanent link, so you can go back and play the old games. That's it. Thank you very much, and hit the subscribe button and come back for more. Bye bye.